on web web development and app development. So just as a recap, we discussed customer experience and we discussed the ways of creating effective digital experience. Can someone, just to refresh your memories, guys, can someone give us a fresher of what we discussed in lesson 97?
Okay. We discussed the digital customer experience. We discussed creating effective digital experiences and the design of online presence.
Okay. So now, thank you, Rezia. Now we are going to look at how we can develop an application and a website. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to know how to plan a website and design an app. You should be able to know the summary process of web development, and you should be able to know who is involved in the development of websites and apps. So these are the key terms that you guys are going to come across as we continue with this discussion. When you look at those terms there, are there terms that you think you are not familiar with?
No, they all look pretty familiar.
Baby?
They do look familiar. I'm just not sure about
Okay.
Sorry.
Soft launch.
Yes, I was just saying that, yes.
And by the way, there's no hard launch, eh?
Yes, I know soft launch, like, during Jolo, the beginning phases, where you don't show the full person, you show a hand or a tattoo or a watch. That's a soft launch.
That's what your elders tell you guys so that you mislead us, men. Okay. Don't give in everything. We also do that in website development. So guys, based on what we discussed in the previous lesson, why do you think we are talking about things like website development now? Do you think that's not an IT baby? Is it our baby as digital marketers?
Yes.
How?
I think because we have to provide input to ensure like a seamless user experience for our customer.
Okay. So if we need to provide a seamless UX, in your opinion, do you then think all brands must have websites? Is it a must to have a website? Is it a must to have an application?
I don't think so.
We heard your mic.
Yes, I think that if your brand, I think depending on how big you want your brand to be, or the goals you have for your brand, and but I think generally, I believe that all brands should have like a website.
Or maybe let me put it in this way. in this era of digital age, do you think all brands must have a website? When I say all brands, I mean whatever that you think is a brand, including a go-go selling amagwinya on the streets. She is a brand, she's a business. Do you think all brands must have a website?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, Razia?
I don't think it's necessary. It also depends on who your target audience is, right? So the gogos selling maquinas, it's the guys on the street walking early morning to catch their taxis, and perhaps their capacity to the internet is limited by things like data, and so I think it's necessary, but it also depends on who you're trying to target.
Okay, we are going to touch base on that, but you realize that my answer is going to be more inclined to Obunolo, and I'll say why. Let's move on. From your own customer experience, what aspects must website have for an effective customer journey? So think about the websites that you have been as a customer. What do you think would make you click and feel like, wow, this website is working for me, or this application is working for me?
I think a website that is easy to navigate, a website that
When you say navigate, I just want to get a clear picture of what you are saying. Do you mean scrolling up or down? What do you mean exactly? Because it can
I
mean lots of
mean
things.
I mean that having not having to like overthink to get a certain thing. Like for example, if you want context from a website and then now it's not easily accessible, you can't see where to find it. You want to buy a product, suddenly you can't see where the products are, you can't see the prices. So it must be an easy process for a customer.
Okay. What else?
I think also communication, like a website. Okay, I don't know if it falls under this, but a website that, for example, most websites have this thing of you leave your details and they call you back. So having
Mm-hmm.
an effective website whereby you know when you've left your contact say, it's not going to take them like hours to call you, like you'll get a response.
All right. There are so many things, guys. What else? Something that would make you feel happy as a customer on a website.
I was going to say a website that is attractive, that draws your attention.
Yeah, the words that you are using, Obunolo, there, let me pack them for 2 seconds. Razia, you had your mic. You unmuted. I didn't hear you.
What was I gonna say again? Oh, I even forgot. But yes, it was more in the direction of what Obunolo was saying. Like there must be an aesthetic to the website. Like there must be like a coherence. There must it must
Hmm.
be aesthetically pleasing. It mustn't be like all over the show, different fonts, too many colors. It's too busy. Also, I think what's convenient is that burger, that 3 stacks. When I see that, I know that okay, that's the menu, which is a universal sign.
All right, there has to be a menu. Now we are going back to what Obunolo says. Say it might be attractive. Now we need to know what attracts customers. I always hear people saying that, am I not attractive enough? What is it that you're attracting there? What I'm trying to say, guys, attraction is a very big word, but it's something that we need to be to think deeper about as brands. Yes, you need to have an attractive website, but we also need to Look at aspects that would make a website attractive. Then, on the third activity, I don't know if I've asked you guys before, how many mobile applications, apps do you have in your phone currently? Can you
So
quickly count them as you scroll down, including those that came with your phone? No cheating, no lying.
I have 34.
34. All right, Rezia.
I'm still counting. I'm on 25. Give me a second. I have 49.
49. Okay. The guys in my class had more than 100.
Wow.
So that says something. Yeah, your Snapchat, your TikTok, your Apsa, you know. So do all those apps that you have enhance your customer experience?
Yes, especially like with apps like PayCity and this Natus Online. So instead of going into like the traffic department, you can do things on the app.
Okay, Razia, Obunolo.
I agree as well. They do.
All right, last one. So guys, why are websites and apps significant to digital marketing? Any significance? So guys, you must remember, as I gave you the definition of digital marketing, that it is the promotion of a brand, its products, its services, its associations on digital platforms. So websites and apps are digital platforms. In this series, we are talking about customer experience. Customer experience is nurtured by these platforms. So websites and apps are the tools that host or that makes a customer experience succeed or fail. So it is determined by these tools, how we develop them, how we manage them, how we augment them, how we optimize them, how we innovate them, will determine the customer experience that our audience is going to have. I don't know if I'm making any sense, guys.
Yes, you are.
Then in this era of digital age, it is a must for all brands to have websites. Even that car wash in your area, it is a must to have a website. Remember, websites have got different purposes. It can be for information. It can be It can act as an e-commerce. It can be for directions, whatever purpose that you want to do with that website. For example, if you're a car wash, you can give direction, you can give ingredients on what content, what materials that you use to wash the car, stuff like that. And of course, we cannot ignore the current situation in the country, whereby some people struggle to have internet access, like Rezia said, whereby some people do not even have smartphones, But looking at the era of the digital age, it is a must to have a website. Regardless of the size of the business, regardless, nowadays we've got Google Maps, whereby, as a business, you want to appear on Google Maps, you want people to easily locate you. If you sell amagwinya by the corner, people need to know at what time you're normally there. So a website will help to expose you. People actually change their route whenever they drop off the bus or the taxi to come and get amagwinya from you. That can be spread at scale. That can be spread fast using a website, because the website will maximize your reach. So it is a must to have a website. But yes, you need to consider many things like resources, the costs that can be incurred when creating a website for someone who's only selling amagwinya, You only sell 2 rand fat cook, while you go to the developers and they tell you that this is going to cost 1,000. So you need to plan things like that. But effect remains that in this era where everything is being digitized and digitalized, then it's a must for a website. I don't know if you agree with me, guys, or if you don't agree with me, because it doesn't mean that what I'm saying is right.
I agree.
Okay. Now we move on to planning a website and designing a website. So, guys, what you need to realize is that the reason why we are talking about a website, the reason why we're talking about an app, we are looking at the aspects that would lead to effective customer experience. So in this lesson, I'm not going to tell you guys about coding, how developers, program a website and stuff like that. As a marketer, you need to be able to have a website in mind, so that when you take the concept and present it to IT specialists, you can actually come up with something that is going to provide effective customer experience. So the entire lessons, as I've been emphasizing, it's all about customer experience, and customer experience is nurtured on these platforms. Most IT guys that I've come across, all they know is developing. They do not know all these essential stuff, such as wording, how to use the words, how to use the color, the content that needs to be put there, the logos and stuff like that. They do not know. It's the job of marketers to plan a website, to design a website. Then they just use the tools that they've learned with when planning their profession to come up with a website. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Despite the continuing growth in social media, a website has to be effective for users accessing via desktop, smartphone, and tablet. Why? Because this is the heart of online communication. Have you guys been at such a point that there's something that you are seeing on social media, even on a legitimate and approved or registered brand, you are seeing it on their page, but you still want to go to their website to check its authenticity. Have you been in that
Yes,
situation?
I have been, yes.
All right. So therefore, for the experience to be effective, a sound process is needed to design, build, and refresh the online experience. Regardless of timescale, the design and optimization process involves analyzing the needs for owners and users of a site and then deciding on the best way to build the site to fulfill these needs. Without a structured plan and careful design, costly reworking is inevitable, as the first version of a site will not achieve the needs of the end user or the business. The process of website development is idealized because, for efficiency, many of these activities had to occur in parallel. So a website remains a point of direction for many consumers. Even when you are installed, I've heard customer asking, can I be able to find you online? Do you have a website? That's how important a website is in digital marketing. Of course, there are so many things that you consider, the things that you guys mentioned at the beginning of this lesson. Things like contact us, about us, address, where are you based? I don't like filling information that will get back to you. I prefer being given an email address or a phone number so that I can call you. Because when you are telling me that you get back to me, what if by the time you are getting back to me, I'm busy with something else? So all those things have got an influence on customer experience. I hope I'm making sense, guys. If I'm not, please. Now we have got a summary process of developing a website. So the reason why I say that website development is not a baby of IT specialists, it's a baby of marketing specialists. It is because that website has to sell. It has to speak to people. And who promotes a business, guys? It is marketing people, not IT developers. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'll repeat again. Who promotes the business? Because a website must promote the business. Remember, the definition of marketing includes promotion of the business. So, when coming up with a website, there are some activities that you need to go through. You need to have the business objectives. So you need to know, why do you exist as a business? If you are a pharmacy, how are you going to achieve your business objectives with this website? Then on that one, you then have your marketing objectives. How is this thing going to promote our business? How is it going to promote the brand? What about the logo, the colors, the content that we create? So you must come up with a marketing objective. Prepare the brief. Select the people who are going to develop that website. Do market research. Prototype the design. We're going to talk about prototypes, I think, in the next lesson. Develop content. Test and revise, then launch the site, then you continue with ongoing development. On the other hand, you are going to have key support activities. You need to register a domain. We are going to discuss on domains in the next lessons. Select a hosting provider. We are also going to discuss that. I think this is in your textbook, guys. It's just different colors. Now we look at who should be involved in a website project. There is no one size fits all when it comes to website development because companies are different, especially here in South Africa, where you have got big corporates like FNB, big corporates like Vodacom, and so on. Then you also have small companies like these startups that you are seeing on a daily basis. But what you have on the screen here is for a typical big corporate. So you have got site sponsors. These will be senior managers who will be paying for the system from their budget. So you have got the CFO, the one who authorizes the payments to fund the project. That's a sponsor. Then you've got a site owner. In most cases, the apps and the website for any given company is owned by the marketing department. So what do I mean with that? The passwords, the access to the website will be strictly within the marketing department. They are the ones who can upload content. They are the ones who can take down content and stuff like that. So ownership would typically be the responsibility of a marketing manager or e-commerce manager who may be devoted full-time to overseeing the site in a large company. Then you've got a project manager. This person is responsible for the planning and coordination of the website project. You've got a site designer. You've got a content developer. You've got a webmaster. Guys, you can read all these during your spare time. Then we have got startups or companies where someone is self-employed, is pushing, is hustling, is consulting on his own business. That person is going to be responsible for all these. So that person, if is a single person running his business, that person can be the site sponsor, the site owner, and stuff like that. I've come across many people who do things on their own, but you have to be able to know what you are doing. Otherwise, you need to outsource things like a content developer. As I gave you an example, guys, with a pastor or a school principal, those people can be the site sponsor, that could be the site owner, they've got access to their pages or their website. But if they don't know what they are doing, the customer experience is going to be poor. They won't be able to develop content that is desirable to their customers. They won't be able to come up with colors or the layout of a website that is going to be conducive or to be attractive, as Ovunolo said, to customers. So even if a company is owned by a single person, you still need the input from experts who would make sure that you've got an effective customer experience. Remember, all these have to do with fluent usage as well as a seamless customer experience. Does it make sense, people?
Yes.
All right. So that's it about lesson 98. Are there any questions? Any additions?
No questions.
Any critique? Obu?
No questions, thank you.
All right, we came across a term called prototyping. So let's quickly have a look at prototyping and agile software development.